And like they don't.
all the NFL protocol stuff, like I tested on Monday, went into the building, got a phone call as I'm doing my work for the week. Hey, you tested positive. I got to come get you out of the room, give you a mask, and you have to walk through the building with a mask on. Get to your car and leave, but take 2 more tests. So I'm like, well, I've just been in here for 45 minutes doing work.
Yeah.
Thank God nobody else was in the room with me because I got there early as
Yeah.
but you can probably cut the effort out. But but I'm just like, all right, man. Like the protocols, that's a whole nother argument, man.
Sure.
I will tell you this. There was a huge time crunch leading up to the season where there were not a lot of answers. And it did feel like a lot of things were just thrown together and pieced together at the very end because there was a stalemate for a while. And we were concerned that we might not even get back into the building because there aren't answers to our questions.
Sure.
And then next thing you know, the doors are opened and there's still not answers. But that's how the season started. It is what it is.
And that's the thing too. Like, so some of the arguments have been about like the NFLPA, right? In which like they're working with the NFL and like this is what they agreed to, what have you. Like, do you as a player, obviously like on the practice side, like, but you pay dues, like you pay that stuff. Like, did you have a say in what those regulations were going to be or those protocols were going to be? Or was it kind of just like here?
It was definitely like your reps had discussed, and this is what it is. It's like the NFLPA, like everybody shits on them. They do a lot of good things. Something like nothing, it's like any business. Nothing's perfect. Like they do a lot of good things. I work with them on other projects. The people that I work with are awesome. I know there are other people that are responsible for other things that I have questions about. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe that could be done better. Like anything. Yeah. But I will say, like, showed up. Hey, this is how it's going to go. This is what has been agreed upon. Don't know when it was agreed upon. Like it just is what it is.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I'm in my position. Like I'm not a starter. I'm not a second string guy. I'm not on the 53. I'm not vested yet. I need 3 games to get my pension. So this COVID thing, like in my mind, it's like shit. Well, there's 2 guaranteed, almost 2 guaranteed games that like, all right, is what it is. But there's just a guy in my position. I'm just showing up to work. I'm trying to make the team. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, listen, buddy, no one is ever going to look back at this season and be like, not a lot happened. There's no twists or turns. Yeah. And it's been wild. And I think that everyone really just wants to kind of turn the page at this point. I know from what we've heard from the team, it's like, can we please talk about like football on Sunday? Like, you want to ask me questions about that, then like, let's talk about that. And I think you're also from a unique perspective because you knew, like everyone in the building knew this is the reaction to the public finding out. And like parts of the media finding out.
And it seemed like it was all stirred up of like an expectation that he was because of the immunized comment. But I'm just in my humblest of opinion, I'm looking at this and I'm like, you guys are idiots. Like for not knowing or not asking the question. That's why I know when Aaron said like, well, I was ready for a follow-up question. Nobody asked it. In my opinion, I'm like, if somebody says they're immunized, I would have literally asked like, all right, what do you mean by that? Because that was also around the time of like, do I need to get a booster or a shot if I've already had it and have antibodies? Like that was the like what was going on then. It was a big question among players with the NFLPA. If I've already had COVID and I have antibodies and I can prove it, do I have to get the vaccine because I have antibodies? And they're like, well, yeah, you do. And so when he said he's been immunized, I thought that was going to be the question. Like I thought so. So I was like, wow, nobody asked it. Got out of this one for a while. Like,
and I think like the word that I kept throwing around yesterday was just like unnecessary, in which like if it was tackled in that press conference, like we're done. We're not having this conversation in November. Like we're not talking about this whatsoever. It probably would have popped up a little bit again if Aaron came down positive with COVID because I'd have been like, this is why.